Okay guys, I'm on the mic. So this can be a short stream. I'm going to cover some price targets for Bitcoin. Hold on one sec, guys. Okay, so I'm going to cover some price targets for Bitcoin. We're going to go over Litecoin, BNB, Ethereum. Also, we cover Vechain, Dow Jones, VIX. This is an important day, guys, because the VIX found support, and we might have some more upside for the Dow Jones. We're going to cover that as well. I don't have Dogecoin yet. That is a chart I'm in the process of making. I'm going to go on a chartathon. So I'm not going to be making videos for a few days because I will be making charts. But do pay attention to this stream because this is important. I'm going to cover some very important things, very important key resistance and support levels that need to hold. I mentioned this in yesterday's live stream. If you do want to access these charts, guys, and I'm going to show you how accurate these charts were from what I called yesterday and how spot on they were. If you do want to sign up to these charts, the website's opticalcrypto.com. The link will be pinned in the first comment after the stream. The link will be in the description. You can see it up top. $39 a month, you get access to Bitcoins, altcoins, precious metals, access to our Discord and Twitter. My Twitter is private. You'll need to contact me through the contact page to get the Discord invite link and to follow me on Twitter. Stocks is separate. We're going to cover this. Cover some stocks here. Tutorials. I have tutorials teaching you this method of charting I came up with. So if you want to check that out, if you want to do the lifetime for $2.99, you get access to everything, one-time payment, and you can pay with crypto if you choose. Just contact me through the contact page if you're interested in lifetime. So let's jump into this, guys. Let's just go through. So I'm going to play a little clip of part of these live streams. Yesterday's live stream. I have a link for this live stream in the description later. But I'm going to play a little clip of each one of these. I'm going to play a little small clip of the live stream from yesterday, show you how this played out, and then I'm going to give you some price targets for each one. Can you please open up Dogecoin chart and share what you think, please? When I finish that chart, I will be happy to share with you my price targets. But if I don't have a chart, I can't give you price targets. Otherwise, load up a chart with some moving averages and play those for now. No, $2.99. $2.99, access to everything. Stocks, tutorials, all the charts. Discord, Twitter for life. You never have to worry about it again. But you have to contact me through the contact page. You cannot get lifetime through the website. You can only sign up for particular plans. For Bitcoins, altcoins, precious metals, Discord, and Twitter, there's a separate plan for stocks and a separate plan for tutorials. Lifetime, you have to contact me through the contact page. All right, guys, let's get into this. So this was yesterday's live stream. You can find the video if you want. It was 23 hours ago. I'm going to play a clip of this, and then we're going to go to the chart. And like I said, we're going to cover Vechain, Binance Coin, Ethereum, Litecoin, show you how this played out as well. So I'm going to play a clip. This was yesterday's live stream. So listen to what I said, and we'll show you how it played out. Chart, guys, this is where I made that tweet. That guy said he didn't know how to play the charts. I said this is where you would short from, right here. This is where we came down. It's been very strong resistance. So look, you can see right now we're respecting this Fib channel line here. And it looks like this is now resistance. So if we stay below this point, 55,457, your next support level to watch is right down here, 53,759. Notice right here, my alert. The reason I have my alert here is because this Fib channel line is the exact same Fib channel line we bottomed on. To the dollar, guys, to the dollar. So that's why I have this alert set, because when we get close to this point, I'm going to put in a long here. If this breaks, I'm getting the hell out, because if this breaks, I think we're coming down much lower. So that target to pay attention to, this is a very important target. If we break 52,500, this is coming. So right here on this B1 chart, I told you why this was an important support level. We hit this to the tick. So if you were doing this horizontally from this point to this point, you would think, okay, well, watch your support to be down here. That's not how it played out. So if we go to the actual chart, note 52,577. Here's the actual chart. Look right here. This was the wick I was talking about where we came down and found perfect support. So again, a lot of people when they trade, they're looking at it horizontally. So they would think, oh, if we came down, your support would be right here at potentially 51,500. That's not how it played out. As I said in that live stream, and guys, make sure if you like this content, leave a like. I'd appreciate it. If you don't like it, your prerogative. But if you do want to be notified when I have these live streams, so you can get these price targets to the dollar. Make sure you, if you are subscribed, make sure you tick the notification bell also and have these live streams. You will be notified. But guys, look what happened. As I said in this video right here, pay attention. This is where this white line I'm referencing, we found perfect supports. I said if we come down, this is a point I told you to short from up here. I said this was your point. This is the point too long. If it holds, 52,577, and look where we found support. 52,577, almost exactly to the dollar, guys. I was off by pennies. Look at that resistance. I mean, look at that support it came down to, right here. Perfectly found support. So I put in a long here. People that were following me, I hope they put in a long. If you're watching yesterday's live stream, you put in a long. If you did, you are now up almost 6%. So I'm just showing you guys, pay attention to these charts. These charts are a cheat sheet to know where price is going, where to get in, where to get out. So again, I'm going to do this with each one of these. I'm going to give you some price targets on this chart since I have this one up now. So again, your resistance right now, very strong resistance to watch. If we push up further, we did not make contact yet, but a resistance level to watch is 55,699. You have a support right here. Guys, every single one of these will be respected. Notice that this was support and resistance. So look, and nothing has changed. I still have my, if you watch yesterday's live stream, I said, look, my upside target, I need to lower this a bit. I'll show you why. Right now it's at 57,445. But look at your resistance above is 55,699. You push above that, your resistance is 57,737. And the same thing, guys, if we break this support, we make contact with it twice. If we break this, if we come down and test it, maybe one chance another long. The more times you test it, it's possible we could break it. But if we break right around 52,780, I expect us to come down much lower. Forget this horizontal line. I was just showing you price doesn't always follow horizontal support and resistance. And this is the trajectory that price is following. That's why these charts are so accurate. Literally, this hit to the dollar twice. And I told you yesterday, when you hit this point, this is where you long. So you should be doing pretty good in your long right now. I'll try to look at what you guys are saying, but I want to go through all this and then I can answer some of your questions if you'd like. So these are price targets to pay attention to. Again, I have targets below, I have targets above, but I'm telling you, pay attention to 52,780. All right, if that breaks, we're coming down much lower. I'll show you why I have my alert set here. This right here, guys, again, if you have access to the charts, all these charts are available. They play out live on all devices, mobile phones, tablets, desktops. You just click the link, they load up. You do not need a TradingView account. You just click the link again and they load up. If you do have a TradingView account though, guys, my charts are shareable. When I make changes to the charts, I hit save, you see those changes. So, you know, just click, when you load it up, you'll see the changes I made and you can save them as your own, add in your own indicators or whatnot. So this was the CME futures chart. This is under BTC related. So I'm going to play a clip of this and look at what I say and then I'm going to show you the chart. I would like to point out, we do have a gap above us. I think a lot of people are probably bullish, thinking that we're going to come up and fill this gap above us at 61,970. Keep this in mind. To fill the gap above, we would have to push up to 61,970. I will give you a freebie here, guys. If we come down, a point to possibly test a balance will be right here around 52,000. A lot of charts are showing around 52,000. So right here on this the CME futures chart, which is available under BTC related, I told you this. And I mentioned this before. I said, watch this yellow ring. This yellow ring was the top. So what does that mean? If we're respecting this yellow ring down here could be a reversal point. And I put a price label here. Look at the actual chart. Look where we found a bounce, guys. Look how accurate this is. We came down, and I had it right here, 52,705. We wicked below it down to 52,595. Perfect bounce on that ring. Showing you the power of the rings. Yeah, just email me through the contact page and I will get you set up. And keep this in mind, guys, if I do not respond right away, after the stream, I will respond to all emails. If you went ahead and you did sign up, I'll deduct that amount from the lifetime, but you'll have to pay the lifetime and then I'll refund you that other amount. But if you be patient with me after the stream, I will respond to your emails. It won't take too long. But guys, just showing you, this chart did play out. I mean, we topped out at this yellow ring. We came down, we found support at this yellow ring. Keep in mind, I'm telling you today, I think it'd be the potentially start of a big move for Bitcoin and the U.S. markets. I'm going to show you why this goes along with the VIX. Specifically, more importantly, the VIX. the Dow Jones, and I'm going to cover the dollar index as well. But again, I just want to show you in this last stream, I said pay attention to this ring. We were up here. So when we hit this ring, again, this is a CME futures, but you can see clearly I gave you a projected target. We hit that target, we pushed up. This was Ethereum. Where's that yellow ring? It's on the CME futures chart. Load it up. If you have access to the charts, it's under BTC related. It's called Bitcoin CME futures. You can load it up. And just so you know, we do have a gap. To fill that gap, we would have to push up to right here. So if you're bullish, but I would be cautious, but if you're bullish, to fill this gap, we would have to come all the way up to 61,970. This is a pretty substantial gap right here. So let's go to the next one, guys. This is Ethereum. This is the E1 chart. Again, I have altcoins, bitcoins, and stocks. Let me play a little clip of this for you. We found perfect support right here. Almost perfect support. It dropped below it a bit, but the reason is because this right here, this fib channel line, we were respecting as support and resistance. That's why we dropped. This weight came all the way down here. But notice when we pushed back up, we found support here. We found almost got support. We found support twice and then pushed back up. Found resistance here. Came down as support. Now we're above this point. So again, just always go back, look left, so you know if you drop below, this is your major support right here. If this support breaks, this is your next major support below. So let me give you some price targets for Ethereum, guys. If we push up, you're looking for a point to take your profit. I would take my profit if we hit this point. So right here is, let me get your price label. Right here, guys, is 2,000. Let's just say 2,500. This actually is 2,465. If you hit this point, potentially what's going to happen, you'll get rejected. You'll come back down and test this as support. So this right here, we're just going to leave it at this point. So Ethereum yesterday, I said if we push up, take your profit or put in a short at 2,465. When you come down to this point, this is where you potentially put in a long. Obviously, if you drop down, this is your strongest support. Well, let's see how this played out. So this is the chart, and take note, you can see that this is a blue fib channel line. So I'm going to draw that line there. So you can see it right here. This is that line I was referencing in the previous live stream. So look what happened. Again, this is the E1 chart. Let me make sure you can see the name of this chart. I have them labeled. The charts I'm trading, I have a label with a 1 by it. But notice right here, and I'm going to give you the targets on this chart as well. So I said, look, if you push up, this is your resistance. This will be your support. Guys, it played out exactly. Look at this. And the target I gave you, 2,465. So let's put a price label here. 2,465, guys. I mean, pretty much to the dollar. We came down. Where did we find support? Thank you, Charles. Hey, thank you, Charles Jones. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. So I said, look, your support is right here. We knew this because you can pull this line out. So this was your point too long. You short here at 2,465. You came down. We found support at 2,348. And then we push back up. Now we are above. You can notice this is now our support. So for Ethereum, if we come down, we have a good ways to go up with Ethereum. Ethereum's looking pretty bullish right now. So now your support for Ethereum is 2,482. If we drop below that, your support is 2,370. If we push up, guys, we have a substantial, I mean, we're talking, if we push up according to this chart, we could possibly test $2,837. At that point, I would get out. Let me see if this has been tested before. So look, guys, you can see why. This is what I'm telling you. This is how you play the charts. Every live stream, every video I do, every tweet I make is helping you play the charts. I know absolutely 100%, just like I showed you in that previous live stream. I said, guys, if we push up, this is your resistance, this is your support. Well, if we push up, where's your next strongest support? Well, you know where it's at because this is a lot of support and resistance. Look at this. Support, resistance, resistance, support, 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 support. We broke it, we crashed. So if we push up, where's your profit point? Guys, where do you get out? Where do you take your profit? Right here at $2,840 to potentially come back down. Now, I will update this chart. I will give you some smaller targets, like you have these smaller targets here. I will update this chart to give you some more points to watch. For instance, I could add a fib channel line, and I'll do this later. I'll update this chart, guys. I'll keep you posted on Twitter. Like I said, I'm going to go on a chartathon. But just letting you know, if Ethereum pushes up to 2,840, take your profit. If you break, if we come back down and we break 2,487, again, these are your support levels. Your most important support level that needs to hold. If we get a major drop with Ethereum, I covered this yesterday too, if I played that video longer, this is your strongest support level here. If this breaks around 2, depending on when you make contact, guys, they're at angles. If you have the chart, when you make contact, you know the price. But if you break below 2,150, then your next strongest support level below will be this fib channel line right here. And the reason I say that, go back and watch the last live stream. Notice we found almost, it dropped below it a bit. This was strong support. So if we break this support here, your next strongest support, which I did mention, this is where I would go heavy with the long for Ethereum, would be right here around close to $1,800, $1,815. So these are some price targets to watch. Remember, upside target 2,840. We've already put a new all-time high for Ethereum. If this ends up being a double top, it did go it went a little bit above. We'll have to see how this plays out, but do pay attention to Bitcoin. And again, I'm going to get into the U.S. markets, which is going to get very interesting. So again, just want to show you the accuracy of these charts. Gave you perfect point too short, perfect point too long. If you had shorted where I said that was about 5%, and had you longed where I said support was, you are now up. This is one heck of a long, up 10.5% or 10.50% on this long. All right, so let's cover this. This was Litecoin. Let me play a little clip of this for you. Again, this is all from yesterday's live stream, 23 hours ago. This is 41 minutes, 55 seconds in. This right here, again, look how accurate this is. We bottomed right here, almost to the dollar, but you can see your major support is right here. So we know where our major support level is, right here. We know our resistance is up here. So here are your support and resistance levels to pay attention to for Litecoin. If we get above, you can see this has been very strong resistance. Again, resistance, resistance, support, resistance, resistance. So if you get above 272, your next point to watch to possibly get rejected, $289. Again, all of these fib channel lines are respected. If we get above 289, I would take my profit at $321. I would expect we get to that point, we'd come down lower. Your current resistance we're trying to get above is right here. You can see this green fib channel line. This is your current resistance. If we cannot get above $265, your next support level to watch, major support level. Let me make this white. Okay, so I'm just gonna, let me get this off the screen. Major support level right here. So right here, I'm saying your resistance to watch is 272, right? And your support right here is 251. So let's look at the chart. Let's see how this played out. And let's see where we tested this. Again, this is the Litecoin chart. So let me zoom out a bit. Let me try to match this up. So I said where we were at, we were currently right here. So we tested this 2 times. We were right here. We pushed up a third time to test it. So where did we test it a third time? 1, 2, a third time. So price label right here. We came up. We did push above it a bit. We got rejected. But notice what I said about your support right here. I said this is your strong support. And look what happened. We came down and we tested it again. $251, right? Let's put a price label here. $251. So you could have been playing the hell out of this. Support, resistance, support, resistance. You drop down to this line, buy. Look, you come up, resistance, support, resistance, support. Now we're up above it. Where's your next resistance? Right here. We know that because of this line. Let me get rid of all this. So again, just showing you the accuracy of these charts, guys. It is a cheat sheet. Right here, if you would have shorted where I said that is a 7.71% profit, and had you longed from this point I told you was strong support, that's 13.81%. So let me give you some price targets, guys. Again, just like yesterday's live stream, I think you need to write these price targets down. They have been spot on. Yes, I'm going to be creating new charts. I'm going to update current charts, then add other charts. So look, your resistance right here, we didn't quite get to it, $290, and that's what I said before. Look, $289. The further out it goes, the higher price is. But if you push up, you know, this is the point to possibly get rejected. Now your major support below is right here. So if we come up to 290, it's possible we could get rejected, come down, test support. This is kind of bullish for Litecoin. This was a lot of support and resistance. Now that we're above this, this is somewhat bullish, but we could come up test 290, then come back down, test 271 before possibly pushing higher. But again, your strongest support that needs to hold, pay attention, this is important. If we break this very strong support level, so 252, if we break 252, we're coming down much lower. Do take note, this was our last support. This hit almost to the tick. So your next support level to possibly catch a bounce would be 238. Keep in mind, if we break this point here for Litecoin, I think we're coming down much lower. Yes, you could come down, catch a bounce, push back up, and I think we would break this. As long as we're above 252, stay bullish. As long as we're above 271, I would say stay very bullish on Litecoin. But remember, your next resistance above is 290. And if we push up, your next major resistance for Litecoin is going to be right here. I covered that in yesterday's live stream. All right, this is BNB. I'm going to play this for you. BNB played out just as accurate as the last ones. So let me play a clip of this. Eventually to short. But if you'll notice on the BNB chart, and again, this is how all the new charts will be. I'm going to be updating the Bitcoin charts and the altcoin charts. But notice we topped out right here at $608. Notice this is the same. This is a trend line actually. Notice that we topped out right here. We did wake up to this fib channel line here. Right at $607. This is pretty much a double top, guys. To me, this looks like BNB is topped out. Again, not financial advice. But notice your resistance currently is $590. If we push up, your next resistance is 607. The top for me, guys, if we pushed up and we tested around $650, I would take my profit, get the hell out of BNB again. I would say, hey, I made my money, I'm happy, time to take my profit, and then look for another entry to get back in. But again, your strong resistance now is 590. If we come down, your next support, guys, you can see it, it's right here. This line has been tested to support and resistance. So your support currently for BNB, if we come down, $532. The Bollinger Bands kind of help out a lot. So right here, I was saying your resistance was 590. I think this, I showed where this line above was like, we'll go back and see. As your support is 532. Let's see how this chart played out. look at the accuracy of this, guys. Again, cheat sheet. Your support and resistance levels are already mapped out. So right here, we were at, let's see, we pushed up to this line right here. This was 590. So let's put a label here. So right here, you can see this was 590, right? This is where we pushed up to 607. When we tested this line here at 607, this was 590. I said this was like a double top. This is your support 532. Guys, look at that. Another one right to the damn dollar, 532. So had you played this and you shorted where I said, that was a 12% profit in a short. And had you longed from this point right here, you could have actually done it twice, but had you longed from this point, that was about a 10% profit. So now your resistance to watch is right here at $587. Your current major support, again, we could be bouncing between these points. Your support to watch is 532. Your next support below is down here at 506. And your resistance above, very strong resistance because we have not only a fib channel line we potentially got topped out at right here, and you have a ring here as well. I call this double resistance, and this would also be a double top. But if we do push up, again, we still have to get above 587. You do have resistance here, guys. You can swing trade the hell out of these targets. So just for example, let's say we push above. This would be a point you would short at 609. You come down to 587, you would long. If you pushed up to 643, you would short. Let's say that this comes down further, so let's say we get rejected at 587, you would put in a long here at 532 again, and you would basically short and long resistance until it breaks. You get out of your long, get out of your short the next resistance, or long the next support. But let's say you come back down, you test this target, this is $504, you would long that, you would short here. So guys, that's just all you do. These charts are for swing trading. But that just shows you the accuracy of the BNB chart, and this gives you price targets as well. This is what I was talking about earlier. I was talking about, and I'm going to lower this, guys. I'm going to show you what I'm paying attention to. So if you have a TradingView account, it's free to create one, I think with Pro. So what I did is I just adjusted my alert. With TradingView, you can set your, you can put your phone number in, and you can get SMS text messages. So if I'm out and about and this thing goes off, I know, hey, pay attention. And this is what I was talking about. And I need to set another alert right down here, because this, I would like to point out, guys, this chart here. Notice we came down. This is a Bitstamp. We bottomed at 52,574, but if you'll notice on this chart, look at this wick. So we should have got a perfect, so we got perfect support here. We didn't get perfect support here, because this is what's going on. They're getting a little crazy. Coinbase came all the way down to 51,277. Let me give you this right here. 51,300, and you can see that we came down to 52,575 on Bitstamp. So these different exchanges are sending the price higher and lower to liquidate and stop people out. Again, they stop hunt. Coinbase just got listed on the NASDAQ. How are they going to make more money for people that are invested? People selling and buying, because that's how Coinbase makes their money. People buy, there's a fee you pay. People sell, there's a fee you pay. So if they send the price up and down, that's how they're making more money. Other exchanges, Binance and Bybit, they make money off, liquidating longs and shorts. Coinbase is all about just fees, buying and selling. But I just wanted to point out that Coinbase wicked way below our support and then pushed back up. So again, but same thing. Notice that we did push back up. But this is why I'm saying, guys, this is very important. We need to hold this white line. This white line is our support. I know there's a lot of crazy wicks. That's why having these charts helps you find these points. So you got a wick way down here. We push back up. We're respecting this support and resistance, but we're respecting this completely. So this is your major resistance. Make this really thick so you can see it. So this is the resistance I'm watching, because if we get above this, and keep in mind, currently where we're at, we have two major resistance levels. Talked about this yesterday. So this is what I'm saying. If we get above 56,212, this is on the Coinbase chart, I have an alert set because I'm ready to buy. Now, it could play out a number of ways. We could just come up, test this. We could just blow right through it and get a pump. That is possible. A lot of times what happens when you break strong resistance, you'll come back down, test it as support. I like that because I like to buy at support because I know it will hold. I write it up. I think that's a safer way to trade. I don't necessarily like to buy pumps because as soon as it pushes up, it can come right back down. So that's why I like to potentially, come down to support, buy at support, write it up. If it comes up, you have a chance to sell or short. If it goes above it, you get out of your short or you buy back in. Just so you know how I trade, though, I like to buy at support. I don't buy pumps. I have missed out on some trades, but I don't lose money because the safest way to trade is just like I said in that previous chart. You come down to support, you buy. You come up to resistance, you sell. And it doesn't matter, guys. Because if it pushes up to here, you're like, oh my God, I missed out on this pump all the way to 60,000. So what? Once it comes back down to 56,212, you buy back in and write it back up. There's always trades, guys. Do not chase the trades. Let the trades come to you. But I'm going to give you support resistance levels. Look, if we break 53,152, I think we are coming down much lower. I will give you the next support level on this chart, guys. This is around 48,763. Keep in mind, it's at an angle. It depends on when you make contact. This is the trajectory the price is following. Your next resistance level above to watch is going to be up here around 60,459. This chart here, guys, I've covered this chart. I will say this. This is on the daily. The next daily candle opens in 10 hours and 31 minutes. Now, I am going to cover the VIX and a couple other things you need to pay attention to. You can see that the RSI, right here, look, we got a pump from support, right? We started pushing up. RSI was way down here, way down. You can see the RSI was right here, pushed back up. We got a little bit of a pump. So I will admit, I don't know why this ring is like this. Let me refresh this chart. Yeah, something's going on here. I need to reload this chart. This is the Bitstamp daily. Hold on, guys. Technical difficulties. Let me load this chart. This is the chart that I'm referencing right here, the daily moving averages. I don't know why that ring was funky. It's still funky. That ring is not supposed to be like that. Let me load up. I I gotta find out why it's doing that. Let me load up this weekly one. So this is how the ring's supposed to be. Remember this, what I was telling you before? This orange ring would be the top. Notice this is where we topped out repeatedly. We hit it to the tick here at 62,490. Then we hit it again at 65,198. So I'm telling you, that's why I said this is the top, because of this orange ring. So look, here's what I'm going to tell you again. I want to go back to the daily to show you this though. If you look at the MACD, on the daily, the MACD does start to is looking like it could start turning bullish. But I just want to let you know, if we do push up, your resistance, again, just like you saw here, your resistance was this ring. And this is important because if we get above this, this is when I turn bullish. So our resistance was this ring, as predicted, 62,721. We came back up, we tested it again to the tick, 65,000, well, the 65,500. So if it does start pushing up, guys, we do have resistance levels to pay attention to in multiple charts. I do not know why this chart is looking funky, why this ring is messed up. Let me see if I can get rid of this ring and paste this in. So copy. All right, copy. Let's see if I can paste this in. Oh, frustrating. This is on the daily. Let me get rid of this. This is on the daily. I want to copy this ring. Copy. And go to this chart and please paste in. Yeah, I don't know why. That's really weird. But regardless of the ring, guys, I'll go back and fix this chart. All I want to point out is you can see that the new daily candle is going to be in 10 hours and 28 minutes. It does look like, at least on the daily, the RSI is bottomed out here. So it's possible this could start pushing back up. It does look like we might have a little bit more downside. That is very possible. We're consolidating in some pattern right now. But again, if you start seeing this start push back up and you start seeing this moving average level off, we could have some upside. But I want to point out your upside targets, pay attention, because this yellow line has been a lot of support and resistance. So if we do push up, before you get super bullish and think, oh, we're going to the moon, watch 58,160. And if you have access to the charts, go back and refer to different charts and compare these targets. And keep this in mind also. This larger structure that we broke out of right here, this is also going to be resistant. So if we push up, look, if we push above 58,160, we're going to come up and test this larger structure we just broke down from. And this happens all the time, guys, all the time. Look, this was our resistance, support, resistance, support. We didn't make it back up because we hit my orange ring. We broke below. Notice we found support. This is a trend line. Guys, trend lines are your best friends. But again, we came down, we found support. So if we push up, your first resistance to watch is 58,160. You get above that, we're testing the bottom of this rising wedge. That happens all the time. So do watch 62,210 before potentially coming down much lower. Just want to point that out, give you both scenarios. This chart, again, I was just showing you. Let's go to the weekly here. So again, if we do push up, watch to possibly get rejected. If we do push up back up above that, the highest point I see us going before we're getting rejected is 68,133. If we get above this orange ring, guys, that is when I turn bullish. Expect us to go much higher. In the meantime, as far as I'm concerned, whether we push up a bit or come down, I think we are ultimately headed to the 20-week moving average. Keep in mind the 20-week right now is right at around 44,400. This could push higher. It seems like it probably will. It'll start doing something like this. This on the weekly, so it's hard to draw with the brush tool. But again, if we break, 45,000, 46,000, wherever this is, as long as we stay above this point right here, I'm going to put this on the daily because this is getting funky. As long as we stay above the 20-week moving average, guys, that is bullish. That means we can still be in a bull run. So if we come down, we test the 20-week, you want to buy here, do not miss it. If we hold support, we push up, we get above this point, guys, we're off to the moon. If we break the 20-week, as I mentioned in previous videos, my buy-in is right here on this red ring, wherever you make contact. Go back, watch the last live stream. I went into detail why this red ring is so important. I'd also like to point out, I told you before, oh look at that, I moved it and the ring adjusted. Some weird funky stuff going on with TradingView today. I did mention before, if Bitcoin just started crashing, just keep this in mind. I'm not going to show you because this chart's acting funky. If you check out the 300 weekly moving average, guys, let me put this on the weekly. The 300 weekly moving average, if we came down and we tested it, I just want to show you this. This right here. This is a 300... Same as chart. Okay, so look, this is a 300 weekly moving average right here. We also bottomed on this ring. What I'm saying is, if we had a major drop and you're like, where is this going to stop? Is it ever going to end? Let's say we break this ring. I would expect to catch a bounce here. Your first support level would be here. This moving average probably will catch up to this point. If this breaks, guys, I think this will be the ultimate bottom. If it got absolutely bearish, if things just went crazy, the dollar just mooned, the markets tanked, I think this is likely the point we would bottom. This is the lowest point Bitcoin would ever go. Just because we bottomed on it here last time, I think it's likely that this would be the lowest we'd go, which is around 10,000. And there is a gap there as well. I'm not saying we have to come down that low, but if we started dropping and you're like, hey, when is this going to stop? That is where I'd go in at 10,000. Completely 100%. So let's cover some of the things, guys. Let's see here. Where am I at? I was at BNB. Okay, I gave these price targets. Remember, 53,152 is a key support level. We break that, this thing is coming down. If we get above 56,212-ish, that's going to be very strong resistance, which means we can expect a pump at least to 60,451 or higher. Do keep in mind, we do have these resistance here. You have this yellow line, which is 58,160, and then 62,210 is the bottom of this rising wedge. All right, so this brings us to why I say the start of some big moves. We have, well, the markets are open. We're going to see what's going to happen. This is a VIX chart. I told you, I said, look, guys, we hit a blue ring, we push up. This is when we had our COVID crash right here. You can see this blue ring, we hit it, and we got to push up. So what I was saying is this blue ring right here is potentially going to send us up. And notice, if I zoom in, this is a VIX, a volatility index for the S&P 500. Look where we found support, and we're pushing up from. We pushed up, we came down, perfect support on this blue ring. So what I'm expecting is from this point on, we'll know, this is on the 4 hour, so in the next 4 to 6 hours, we're going to find out if we break this. But I think it's very possible we're going to continue to push up this blue ring. That means there's going to be a lot of volatility, a lot of indecisions in the markets, which means it's possible we could have some downside. So today is very important. Follow the markets today. If you have access to the charts, this is under stocks, under the S&P 500, and it's called VIX. I expect us to push up. If that continues to happen, I'm expecting downside for the markets. Bitcoin is correlated with the U.S. markets. If the U.S. markets are down, Bitcoin will be down. If the U.S. markets come down, people will be jumping into the U.S. dollar. Bitcoin's hedged against U.S. dollar. So U.S. dollar up, Bitcoin down. If the dollar collapses, Bitcoin's going to push up. But that's what I'm watching, guys, right here. This is just an example. You know, I was telling you, like, hey, when we hit this blue ring, I expect us to pump. You say, well, how can you know that you can pump if you hit a ring? That's crazy. You can't know when the volatility index is going to push up. That is incorrect. I can know. And this is an example. I published this on January 29th. This is the DXY. I was telling people, pay attention. Every time I hit a blue ring, we push up. Every time I hit an orange ring, we push up. Every time I hit an orange ring, we push up. So what do you think is going to happen when you hit this orange ring right here? And also said when you cross it, just like here, you push up the orange ring, you cross it, you come down. Look what happened. I said this is where you would want to long the DXY. We pushed right up this ring, we crossed it, we came down. That's why I'm saying the same thing could happen with the VIX. We could push right up this ring, and then at some point we could cross it and potentially come down. But remember, VIX up, that's bearish for markets. Just to give you an example, when we, right here, this VIX had pushed up, this is when we had our COVID crash. So that was serious. So that covers that. The Dow Jones, guys, same thing. So look, the Dow was already down. And it is very possible we come down from this point. Now look, I did tell you guys, I put in $10,000 worth of contracts to short the Dow. I had those way out until a certain point, so I'm staying in. We did push above it. But notice what happens a lot of times is, you notice we were in this rising wedge right here. a lot of times what will happen is you'll come down. Notice I have this as a support level here. A lot of times what will happen is so you notice this blue ring right here. So this is why I put in a short so soon. We get near the blue ring, the Dow came down. Let me change color of this so you can see this. Hold on, I'll make this yellow. So what I'm saying here is this I'm showing you the Dow, I'm playing this. So when we get to a blue ring, we get rejected, we came down, right? Well, we hit this blue ring, we got rejected, we came down. The reason I put in a short before this point, this is where I'm going in heavy. This is where I'm going in so heavy on a short for the Dow, because I expect when we hit this orange ring, we're coming down. I put in a short here because every time we hit a blue ring, we come down. Now, we just came up and we tested this, this support as resistance, so it is possible from this point we could come down. At this point, I would take my profit if this holds. If this breaks, we are coming way down. But again, what I'm saying is I went in heavy because I expected us to come down. I didn't say it would come down a lot when we hit this orange ring. I think this is the top for the Dow. I'm using the Dow as an indicator saying that this is the top for the markets. When we hit this orange ring, like I said, I'm going heavy, heavy, heavy on a put for the Dow to come down and at least test this point. If this point breaks, I'm going to be filthy rich. I'm just telling you that. I do believe this orange ring is going to send us down. We could come up and test it, or we could potentially come down and test here. I think it's more likely if we come down and test it, we will come up and test this orange ring. And then at this point, I think that is when we will come down and break this point for much more downside. This is the DXY, guys. Notice we're in this pattern here. I covered this in yesterday's live stream. This is a funky descending broadening wedge, but it is a descending broadening wedge nevertheless. Look at all of these points of contact: resistance, support, resistance, support, resistance, support, 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 resistance, 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 support. So look, guys, you can see this has now become support, resistance, support. Guys, even the DXY chart has been spot on. So right here is your resistance right now. Not only is that resistance from a fib channel line, it is also a resistance for this this pattern we're in. So if we get above, and we're testing it now, if we get above 91.24, that means we're going to be breaking out of the structure. Remember, descending broadening wedge are bullish patterns. I've never seen one this long or this narrow, but we could have one hell of a pop. So write this down. If you get above 91.24, this pushes above, the dollar is going to continue to push up. We'll see how high. If we do get rejected at 91.24 and we come down and we break the support at 90, then yes, we're probably going to have a drop. And if that happens, guys, again, pay attention to the DXY. Bitcoin is a hedge against the US dollar. If you see the dollar collapse, jump in Bitcoin. If you see the dollar start pushing out, you probably want to scale out of Bitcoin. All right, guys, and someone had mentioned, I just want to show you, I know I only covered BNB, Litecoin, Ethereum, but I just want to show you, everybody, if you have access to our Discord, people share their own charts, they share their own trade setups. If you do get access to subscribe to my charts, you get access to our Discord. We have a lot of people in here. This guy, Buck, he loves using leverage. If you have questions about leverage, ask him. He said, why aren't you scalp trading Vechain? You could have doubled your bags playing Steve's charts. Let me show you Vechain and show you why he said that. So if I go, again, these are all the Bitcoin charts. If I go to access charts, just show you, this is the altcoin charts here. So I covered, well, I'll go over Theta and so other ones later. Again, I'm going to Chartathon soon. So he was talking about Vechain. This is what he's talking about. So if you're playing the Vechain chart, look how accurate this has been. And take note, you got resistance and support levels at different angles. Notice that this was resistance, came down to support right here. This is a fib channel line respecting as well. Let me change color of this. Uh-oh, hold on. There we go. Let me make this white so it stands out, not so thick. All right, so right here, notice that this was support, right? So this is what I'm talking about. When you come down, this is resistance. We came down to support. This is where you would long. We pushed up, potentially short. That probably been a bad trade. Notice this ring pushes us down. Pushed us down last time. But right here, look right here. Same thing with the XRP chart I showed you yesterday. All of your support and resistance levels are mapped out. So every time you hit this damn line right here for Vechain, this is the point you short. So if you shorted right here at 27 cents and you shorted down to support, that was a 36% profit on that short. Look where we found support, same point. So had you long from that point, guys, the profit you can make swing trading these altcoins, support and resistance, is insane. It pushed up 54%. 54%. So what happens when you hit resistance? You're short. And you can notice we're respecting this moving average. So it came down, it did not come all the way down to support. It stopped about 22%. But when it pushed back up, you had a perfect point to short again, right here. Because this is your resistance. So it comes down. If you shorted right to this moving average, you can go back and look. We've been respecting this moving average. Support, 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 perfect support, support. So you can play the moving averages with the resistance level. So look, if you push up, the next point to short Vechain is right here at 26 cents. You push up, you come up and you test this, you short it. Remember, it can break at some point. You're not going to win every single one, but you could have shorted successfully on at least 3 of them right here. So you might be successful in this short here, and you come down to test this moving average, you would long. If you break the moving average, well, you know where to long, and this is double support, guys. You have support, and again, this is a V-chain. You have support here, and you have support here. So I would go heavy on a long right here. Let me give you that target. If you come down and you hit 19 cents, that is where you long. You have this red line of support. You have this white line of support, the next fib channel line below. This is where you long. And if you break above, guys, if you push above 25 cents, where's your next resistance? Bam, right here, 36 cents. You push above that, where's your resistance? Right here. Again, if you watch the tutorials, you'll understand why these charts are so accurate, how I create these charts. I explain to you. I have 3 videos. I show you how we use trend lines. Trend lines is the first tool you need to learn to chart. If you want to chart for yourself, or at least understand how price action works, learn trend lines. That's the very first tutorial I teach you because it's the most important. The second tutorial I teach you is how to create fib circles from trend lines. Once you understand trend lines, you can understand how to set up fib circles. The third tutorial is how you actually set up these fib channel charts. Remember, fib channels are no different from fib retracements. It's just when you set up fib channels, they're not horizontal. You can set them at angles. And yes, I'll be doing a lot of charts, guys. I'm going to Chartathon. It's most important that I update current charts, and then I will create some new charts. Everybody's talking about Dogecoin and a few others, so I will make some of these popular coin charts. There's new charts to put up on the website. But it is important to keep the ones I currently have, updated. But guys, that pretty much covers everything for yesterday's live stream, how it played out, and I gave you price targets for Bitcoin. But do pay attention. I'm very curious about the VIX, guys. If the VIX does break, if the VIX breaks, guys, this can play out a number of ways. This is the strongest support for the VIX. I'm going to give you this right now if you don't have access to stocks. Right here, 12.43. But notice we got a white candle. I do think what's going to happen, the VIX is going to continue up. A lot of people are talking about stock market crash. Nobody knows when it's going to happen. I'm telling you, this could be the start as long as we're moving up this blue ring. And this is for the S&P Volatility Index. As long as we're moving up this ring, I think the markets might get topped out. If we do cross this and we come down, then we'll have to see what happens. But I do think the top of the Dow is going to be right here, guys. This orange ring. Just like I said, this orange ring right here. Just like I said, this was the top for Bitcoin. So far, that has proved to be the case. 64,821. I already covered BNB. You can rewind it back to see that. Ethereum, yeah, I gave you price targets. I'm not going to tell you that Ethereum is the next Bitcoin or that Ethereum is better than any other coin. I'm just going to tell you if it drops, your support is 2,487. You break that, it's swing trading. I'm not telling you that Ethereum is the next best thing. I'm telling you where your targets are. And I did that yesterday. Those targets are hit exactly. You're short, you're long. You would potentially short it here. It did play out good here, but it pushed above. So if your next point to short's right here, 2,835. You come down to support, you long to 2,500. And I'm going to update these charts. See these smaller targets we've been playing back here? Notice all these smaller fib channels. So once we get above these smaller fib channels, this is where I'll update this chart. I'll add more fib channels. So you have these smaller targets, like right here. This is potentially, I'll just guesstimate. This is going to probably be a point that's supported. If we could do one right here, let's see if it matches. because basically this is the trajectory the price is following. So this is potentially a fib channel line here at 25,889 to potentially come down and test 2,500. But again, once we get above these smaller fib channels, I probably hide these or leave them. I add new fib channels so you can place smaller targets to the upside and downside. Do you watch your charts with or without log? Well, listen, most of the charts that I'm using data that goes really far back, the only way to read that data is in log scale. For instance, if you look at this Bitcoin chart here, let me just delete everything off of here. If I was trying to read this chart, let me get rid of these moving averages. If I was trying to chart this and it wasn't on log scale, I mean, look what you had to work with. You can't chart this. I mean, how the hell do you chart this? Bam, there you go. Here's your tops. You can't. But when you're in log scale, you have much more information to play with. You have a lot more points to pay attention to say, okay, well, you know, you could do this. You could say that, you know, potentially you come up. Here's your target around $275,000, but you have points to pay attention to. Again, this is a major support level. I'm just showing you this. Trend lines are amazing tools. You could come up and say, look, I'm just doing this on the fly, guys. This right here has been support going way back. And notice right here, this is something that I'm just now doing on the fly. This was support. Look right here. This was support, support, support. We came up as resistance, and look what's happening right now. We're testing this again as resistance. This could be super bearish. If we cannot get above this point, we come down. So this is what I'm saying. With log scale, it gives you more information. Even more so if you zoom in and look at the smaller price action. But just this alone shows that, hey, this could actually be very bearish. We're broke out of a larger structure that goes back since what? Support back in 2012. This was support in 2017. We came up, we tested a resistance. Now we're testing this resistance again. So if we cannot get above this point, we might have a lot more downside. So that's why I teach about trend lines, guys, because they are very, very important, useful tools. And then I show you other tools to help you get price targets to the dollar. But guys, I will keep you updated in Twitter. I will keep you updated in Discord. If you do want to access these charts, guys, the website is opticalartcrypto.com. I have Bitcoin charts, altcoin charts, precious metals charts. For $39 a month, you get access to Bitcoin, altcoins, precious metals, Discord, and Twitter. Stocks are separate. Tutorials are separate. If you want to do lifetime, you can pay with crypto with lifetime as well. But for $2.99 one-time payment, you get access to everything. Never have to worry about it again. It also makes you a gold member in Discord. So do contact me if you're interested in that. If you just want to sign up right away, you can just go through the subscription page on the website, and here is the link for that, guys. If you want to subscribe, if you want to contact me about lifetime, here is the link. It's just my email address there, so just contact me. But guys, again, I'm not gonna make a video for probably a couple days because I'm gonna start creating new charts to add to the website. I told everyone that I'm gonna start using the most accurate charts, which I've showed you over the last few live streams: B1, A1, C1, D1, E1. I'm gonna start taking those charts, creating those charts. They're currently for Bitstamp. I'm going to create them for Coinbase and for Binance, and then create Dogecoin, some of these more popular coins people are just going absolutely nuts about because you're going ballistic. See if we can find a top for Dogecoin. But guys, that's it. This is running kind of long. Got some things to do. Again, I'll see you on Twitter and Discord. I'm out. Peace. Trade safe.